Wow. 6 leaders, 6 stories, 6 very different worlds, and yet one common thread: context. Atlan's own journey with context began more than a decade ago. Back then, we weren't a company. We were just a data team, working on national-level healthcare and poverty alleviation, projects with the UN, the World Bank, national governments. My most visceral memory of this context problem came one morning before a meeting with the Prime Minister of India. A critical number broke on a dashboard. Suddenly, chaos. Engineers, analysts, everyone scrambling for 8 hours straight, pipelines, logs, metrics definitions. Somehow, that night, we finally survived the fire drill, and I was exhausted. And my most senior analyst walked over, and he said, "I'm quitting." In that moment, my heart shattered. This was the person who carried the context of every critical project in our company. All the knowledge, all the meaning, it all lived in his head. And if he left, everything could fall apart. I begged him to stay. He didn't. That night I cried. I cried for 3 hours straight. And the next morning, I made myself a promise. This loss of context could never happen again. That was the moment our obsession with context began. Because data without context is chaos. But bridging the context gap turned out to be harder than we imagined. We failed 3 times. Yes, 3 times before Atlan was even born. First, we tried to buy an existing data catalog. But this was early days of the cloud data stack. We were early adopters, we were using Slack every day, and the traditional solutions at the time just didn't fit us. The second time, we tried to build. We built this flashy natural language search interface. It demoed beautifully, but we never got it into production. Because the hard part wasn't the search, it was getting the metadata in. And that was far too manual. The project failed. The third time, we went back to the basics. We focused on metadata ingestion and curation. We built a YAML-like tool for our data engineers. It was fully integrated into their workflows. This time, we were semi-successful because it worked for our data engineers. But the interface was clunky, and our analysts and business users never touched it. And without them, we could never capture the business context. Each failure taught us something new, and through them, we uncovered the principles that would prove crucial to finally closing the context gap. First, automate wherever possible. High-quality context is hard, and let's be honest, nobody wakes up in the morning excited to write documentation. If you don't automate it, you will never keep up. That's why over the years at Atlan, we pioneered automated column-level lineage, we pioneered shift-left governance, we pioneered AI-generated context. Today, 70% of descriptions on Atlan are generated by AI, but accepted by humans. In the AI era, context is more distributed than ever before. Every agent, every app is generating even more context. And to keep up, automation has to handle this diversity of context across systems and teams and use cases. This year, we took a bold step forward with the Atlan App Framework, foundational developer infrastructure to unify enterprise context at scale. Think of it as an app store for context, a platform where partners and customers can build connectors, automations, and AI agents on top of Atlan. And the momentum is real. In just a few weeks since launch, 27 partners from DBT Labs to Alteryx to Immuta are already building apps on the framework, spanning governance, observability, quality, and even AI risk management. Automate wherever possible. Our second principle, adoption is everything. Change management is brutal. We have all lived it. Roll out a shiny tool, run months of training, and end up with 3 active users. That's why at Atlan we pioneered active metadata, bringing context into Slack and Teams and BI tools. Take technology to users. Don't bring users to technology. And the results speak for themselves. Customers who struggled with traditional catalogs for years have seen over 3x adoption with Atlan in just 90 days. And this year, we've taken it even further. For decades, building software meant guessing what users want. AI changes that because we don't have to guess anymore. AI democratizes language, and now the user can simply ask for what they want. We don't need to guess anymore. That's why we launched our conversational ChatGPT-like search interface, context that answers questions the moment the user asks them. We believe this will be a shift in how people interact with data software forever, driving adoption like never before. We also launched Atlan's MCP server, which brings Atlan context directly into ChatGPT and Claude and Cursor. This has unlocked a whole new world of agentic context, from glossary creation at scale to a full suite of data steward agents. We are so excited by how the community is innovating around Atlan's MCP. Third, when we started Atlan, we believed there are only 2 fundamental truths in data: diversity and change. Diversity, different tools, different personas, and change, warehouses, lakes, lake houses, tree houses. Well, maybe not tree houses, but you get the idea. We didn't predict Gen AI would happen, but we did predict change would happen. And that's why we built Atlan to be open by default. Today, that openness powers some of the largest estates in the world. Customers managing over 100 million assets and running 4 billion API calls every single month. But supporting the scale of hundreds of thousands of AI workloads needs something new, foundationally new. At Atlan, we believe what data was to BI, context is to AI. And that's why we're introducing a new category of infrastructure: context stores, built from the ground up, learning from the world of data, but reimagined for AI. This year, we took a bold step forward with the launch of Atlan's Metadata Lakehouse, built with our partners Databricks, Snowflake, and Sigma. It's the first of its kind context infrastructure, built on Apache Iceberg to be infinitely scalable, queryable, and fundamentally open. And already, it's powering incredible use cases, from startups building AI data engineers using Atlan's context to autonomous agents for FinOps and optimization. And finally, we're doubling down on interoperability. We're proud to be a launch partner for the Open Semantic Exchange, alongside Snowflake, dbt, and a consortium of industry leaders, making context truly portable across the modern data and AI ecosystem. These 3 principles, automation, adoption, and openness, became the very foundation of Atlan. And every year since, they've guided how we innovate. Just last year, we shipped over 200 releases. Those innovations are why Atlan is now the fastest growing company in our category and a leader across every major analyst report. In 2024, we won 79 G2 badges. We were named a top right leader in the Forrester Wave for enterprise data catalogs twice, and a leader in the Forrester Wave for data governance, and a visionary in Gartner's Magic Quadrant for data and analytics governance. But my favorite recognitions, the ones from customers. We're the only customer favorite in Forrester's governance report, and a customer choice in Gartner's Magic Quadrant. At Atlan, we've always known that it isn't just about the technology. We started as a data team ourselves, and even before we sold the very first version of our software, we wrote a manifesto. And it said, we want to be the kind of partner we wished that we could have had when we were a data team ourselves. That philosophy has guided every one of our product, but also business decisions. We realized that in our category, success doesn't come from technology alone. It comes from cultural transformation, from building a new operating model for how data and AI teams can work. So what really creates a successful data and AI governance program? Last year, we kicked off something called the Data and AI Governance Genome Project, the largest research initiative of its kind. We studied hundreds of leading organizations, and we didn't just look at the technology, we looked at the people, the processes, the skill sets, everything that separated the successful programs from the ones that weren't so successful. And from that work, we built what we now call the modern data and AI governance blueprint, a practical guide that we use when we partner with our customers. And today, I am thrilled to announce that we're opening this up as knowledge for the entire community. We are launching our first ever book, The Modern Data and AI Governance Blueprint. It's written as a parable following Emery, a leader at Everstead Financial, as she navigates the ups and downs of implementing governance that actually works. But a book alone isn't enough. So we're also open sourcing 32 practical tools, maturity assessments, user story generators, value and viability matrices to prioritize business use cases, communication frameworks, and much more. Everything you need to bring the blueprint to life in your own organization. From day one, we have never built Atlan alone. Every part of Atlan has been co-created with our customers. Today, as we face this AI frontier that's ahead of all of us, we know we don't have all the answers. The challenges that we're tackling, they're hard. They're really hard. How do you version control context? How do you prevent hallucinations at scale? How do you make AI that's actually trustworthy? No one company can solve this alone. And that's why we've taken a new approach. We're going back to our roots as a data team and partnering with our customers as we face these challenges together. We announced Atlan AI Labs a couple of months ago, a focused design accelerator to take AI use cases from vision to reality inside a customer's environment. With AI Labs, we don't just show up with a product, we show up as your extended team, working side by side to solve the problems that matter the most. In our early AI Labs projects, we've gotten our hands dirty. And together with our customers, we've embedded metadata context and context supply chains into talk-to-data applications. And we found that even with these early experiments, we've been able to increase accuracy by over 5x. It's still so early in the AI journey, and we're so excited to partner with our customers on the most important challenges that we will face as we cross the AI value chasm together. When we started Atlan, our mission was simple: help the humans of data do their life's best work. And sometimes we still pinch ourselves. Today, hundreds of the world's leading data and AI teams partner with Atlan. Teams whose collective enterprise value is over $10 trillion, larger than the GDP of the third largest country on Earth. And they're solving some of the most challenging problems on the planet, from finding cures for cancer, to powering the EV revolution, to even helping humans find love. Today, our mission at Atlan is evolving. We believe that the most important human achievements in the next decade will not be accomplished by humans alone, but by teams of humans and AI working hand in hand. And our mission at Atlan is to build the missing context layer to help humans and AI do their best work together. Humans of data, thank you for joining us at Atlan Regovern today. And here's to bridging the AI context gap together.